Hey everybody, what's up? How you been? It's been a while since we've done a video, or I've done a video. So I'm really looking forward to spending some time with you. Glad you came along. We are headed to a place called Roosevelt Lake in central Arizona to do some truck tent camping with some friends of mine. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not very optimistic about this trip. Any excuse to get away is a good one. But this is at a campground. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that part. I'm hoping I can get away and do some hiking, some exploring. But I got a lot of cool ideas for this video. One of the things that's going to be nice regardless is the weather. We've received quite a bit of snow and rain over the past week here in Arizona. All the way down to the 2,000 foot level, which is unusual. We've got snow in the mountains ahead of us, and then it's supposed to rain most of the day today and a little bit into tomorrow. So we'll have some weather on this trip. Yeah, so anyway, it should be fun, and I'm glad you decided to come along. All right, what's up guys? We made it. We're at the Cholla campground right behind you here. A beautiful view of Lake Roosevelt. But first I want to set up the truck tent. On this trip we're using the Napier back roads, the green edition. And we're going to be putting it on the 5.5 foot bed here of the Ford F-150. Temperatures right now, hovering right around 45, 46 degrees. It's warming up pretty quick though. The sun is out. We are projected to get a lot of rain later on today and into the night, possibly into tomorrow morning. No snow is forecasted, possibly up on the higher elevations. This is the backside of the Four Peaks Superstition Wilderness area right here. We're sitting at around 2,000 feet. So it's not going to get cold enough for it to snow here. It did snow here a few days ago, however it's already melted because the temperatures and the elevation. One of the things I want to go over real quick with this Napier Backroads tent is that I've had a lot of people question why I set it up on the ground. I think it's easier. In fact, on the instruction manual, yes, I did read it. It actually suggests setting that thing up on the ground first, lifting it up, sticking it up on the bed. Especially if you have a truck that's got doesn't have a stock lift on it, I think it'd be a lot easier. But having the truck tent, I went back and forth on bringing the backpacking tent. I could have chosen a better spot if I'd had the backpacking tent as opposed to a pull-in spot. Like I said, this in general is not my ideal way to camp, but I got some friends with me, one of which has a travel trailer, so we opted this route here. And it's good to throw it in the mix a little bit, you know, keep everybody happy. Anyways, the reason I went with the truck tent was actually pretty simple in the end, and that is with the rain coming and the rain that was just here, camping in the desert, you got to take that into consideration, because unlike in forested areas, desert camping comes with a lot more risk. That risk being rattlesnakes, snakes in general, and scorpions. After a rainstorm and right before a rainstorm, the scorpions are prevalent. I mean, there's a plethora of them out here, and that's anywhere pretty much in the desert. Once it gets cooler, they get a little dormant, but it's just not a risk I'm willing to take. And there are ways you can mitigate that, certainly, but it just gives me peace of mind being up off the ground, and I'm sure you can understand why. This is the Napier Backroads tent, and you can get it to fit just about any truck bed size, but when you get it, make sure you know that it's going to fit yours. They do make them in different lengths so that it is a better fit. It's considered a 3-season tent and does come with a rainfly. It works pretty good. It's a full tub design. It's not like the Kodiak or canvas versions that literally just go over the bed. This is a full enclosed tent, which I do like about it. Costs around 180 bucks on Amazon. I think maybe $10-15 more. Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, any of those places. So yeah, whatever you want. And this thing is so easy to put together. A lot of folks ask what my sleeping arrangements are inside the truck tent, and be happy to share with you. This is the Coleman Comfort Smart Deluxe Cot. I got this off of Amazon. I don't remember how much. I believe it was under $100. What I like about it is it's wide. I tend to sleep on my side, and it comes with this mat. However, tonight, like I said, we're probably going to be getting down into the upper teens, low 20s. And the sleeping bag that I brought is the Stratofiber Forte Nemo, rated for 20, -7 Celsius. Now, I'll be pushing the limits on this bag, but I'll tell you, when you're cold weather camping, as long as you plan ahead, this is a plenty good bag, as long as you take some certain steps, starting with your sleep system. I always sleep 9 times out of 10, no matter where I'm sleeping, whether it be a backpack, a tent, the truck tent, anything like that, a tarp. I always bring a sleeping pad. There are so many different variations of these things. This is the Thermarest. I'm not sure what it's the Ridgecrest, I believe, Thermarest Ridgecrest. It's a closed cell sleeping pad. Has a mediocre R value on it, and it is reflective on the other side here, and this thing does wonders, absolute wonders. So we're already ahead of the game by being up off the ground in the truck and not on the ground where the heat is radiating away from our body. So that's +1. +2, we're even farther up off the truck with the cot. So when we put the buddy heater in here, we're at that mid-level. So when you have a heater inside a tent, especially these type of tents, and it's surrounded by cold air, you're gonna have 3 layers of heat in this thing pretty much at all times. At the very top of the tent, it's gonna be really hot. In the middle, it's gonna be, about, that good comfort level zone. Down here, it's gonna be cold. So again, getting up off the ground of your system, of your tent, whether it be on the ground or in here, is gonna be beneficial to you when it comes to heat. The closed cell pad here, I just stick under here. It just helps matters out. Just like that. It should go all the way to the end there. Yep, it did. So now I got my pad. I'm going to take it a step further. This is a cheap, probably a Coleman or an Ozark Trail sleeping bag that I only use for one purpose. And it's either as a quilt or as an underquilt. And for tonight, I'm going to be using it as an underquilt. I will not be sleeping in it. It will just be merely an underquilt. Nice thing about the cotton here too is that I've got storage underneath it that I can use, and the cot fits right over the wheel wells of the truck. So that also works out good. All right, now got the underquilt, got the pad, got the Thermarest. This is kind of overkill, but now we're gonna put our bag inside the bag. We have a bag liner. A lot of people forget this step. Get a nice liner for your bag. It does help with the comfort factor and staying warm. Not much so, unless you get a sleeping liner or a bag liner that's specific purpose is to raise the R value and the temperature rating of the bag. A simple polyester liner like this, I think I paid $10 for this. The only purpose this really serves is to keep the bag clean. I mean, most people don't wash these ever, so it just keeps it a little bit more clean. Because you can wash the liner. And if you've seen other videos, I've done short little reviews or comments on the Nemo Forte. It's a great bag. I mean, super warm, super comfortable, wide. I can sleep on my side. It's a hybrid bag, so it uses Stratofiber, but hybrid in the fact that it's kind of halfway between a traditional bag and a mummy bag. It's super lightweight. I don't know those stats right off the top of my head. The biggest complaint about this bag that I cannot stand, and it'll probably keep me from ever buying another Nemo bag again, is the zipper. The zipper is so terrible on it, to the fact where it just was so bad. After about 2 months of using this bag, the zipper started to fall apart. And don't get me wrong, this is an expensive bag. I mean, I paid well over $300 for this, and this is what happened. It gets stuck every single time, the zipper. Every time, without fail, it'll get stuck. And when you've got to go pee in the middle of the night, or you got to get out quickly, and you just get frustrated, this is what happens. And it just ripped that to shreds right there on that one spot. It's a shame. Other than that, fantastic bag. It's another area of your camping experience that you don't really want to skimp out on, is your bag. Your sleep system in general. You pay for what you get. So there's that. We'll put our liner inside there for tonight. And then, the creme de la creme is our Navajo wool blanket. Wool. Can't be anything else. And that goes for your clothing too. Cotton kills. If you are in cold weather, especially cold, wet weather, ditch the cotton. You want blends, polyester, synthetics. Wool is the absolute best. Stay away from cotton. It loses heat quickly and does not dry nearly as fast or repel water nearly as well as any of those other fabrics. When you're sleeping, if you sleep in cotton, you're already behind the curb. Either less is more in that situation. You know, when you're sleeping in cold weather, you want to use that body heat to your advantage inside your bag. I typically will sleep with shorts and a t-shirt, and I stay plenty warm. If you get cold during that, put your long johns on, not thermal long johns like the traditional waffle cotton ones. That's not what you want. You want real long johns, and they're like a polyester. They almost look like stretchy pants. It looks like a wetsuit almost on you. And those, holy cow! I mean, I've camped in those in sub-zero before and was nearly sweating. So, a couple tips for you there. Hope you got something out of it. Okay, well, we predicted some weather, and we've got grapple or frozen rain starting to fall, and it's getting cold. I was gonna cook you guys a really cool dinner tonight that only I would eat, but that's not gonna happen just because it's really windy. We got wind gusts of up to about 35 miles an hour, and as you can see out on that lake, the winds are going in all different directions. I suspect looks like we got a squall that's coming down this way from the south. It's gonna either start getting to some pretty heavy frozen rain or some hail. So the guys and I are gonna start probably hunkering down. I'm probably just gonna eat a mountain house for the evening and call it a night and try to stay as comfortable as possible. So I'm glad we get to change the scenery up a little bit here on Dirt Road Reset and show you what a little weather's like. What I'm really looking forward to is to actually put that truck tent through its paces on a really windy, wet evening, just to see how well it does. We've been through wind by itself, we've been through rain by itself, but I haven't been through a true wind and rain storm, like a thunderstorm in it. So I'm looking forward to that. Stay tuned, there's a lot of really cool things to come. Okay, we're in the tent. It's going on 7:15 or so, and it's just cold and windy and miserable out there, so I've resorted to coming into the tent, probably watch some Netflix or something that I've downloaded here on the phone, It is, here in the tent, it is 62 degrees. Big difference, and it's toasty in here. So I won't have to layer up that much. But it's comfortable, and it is bone dry inside here. There is not a drop of water, and if there is, it's from water that I brought in when I was climbing up into it. But it's coming down decent right now. It's a frozen, like slush rain, and gosh, I don't know. We might wake up to snow in the morning. I doubt it. It's supposed to get to 35, so I don't think it might snow overnight while we're asleep, but it's not going to stick. So we should have a nice view though in the morning. Those mountains, I bet you there's going to be quite a bit of snow left on those. For dinner, I had a freeze-dried mountain house. It was the Southwest skillet. I wouldn't recommend it. It wasn't that good. I'm going to start getting out of these wet clothes and into something a little bit more comfortable.
Saturday. Part 1 to 3 inches, flanks at 3 to 5 inches, Forest Lakes 4 to 8 inches, Hebrew Overguard 1 to 3 inches, Jacob Lake 3 to 5 inches, Prescott 0 to 1 inches, Williams 2 to 4 inches. Slow down and use caution while traveling. The latest road conditions for the state you are calling from can be obtained by calling 511. Repeating, a winter weather advisory remains in effect until 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for the following. In Arizona, eastern muggy owner. The official NOAA National Weather Service forecast for northern Hilo County, including the cities of Payson, Strawberry, and Young. Tonight, patchy blowing snow in the evening. Rain and snow showers in the evening. Snow accumulation 5 to 7 inches. Snow level 6,500 feet early in the evening, decreasing to 5,000 feet.
So basically, we're not going to get any snow tonight. We are going to get rain throughout the evening, but at this elevation, there's not going to be any snow. Likely there will be up on that mountain behind us, but even then, it might be iffy. But it's going to be cold, so I got the long johns out for tonight. That might even be too hot, but I've got another pair of regular sleeping wear in there in the event that that gets too warm. I always recommend bringing, if you're car camping like this, it's kind of bulky for backpacking, for if you're doing lightweight stuff. But car camping, bring a weather radio. It's pretty informative and good to know what's coming from the National Weather Service and around you. Whew. Hey, good morning, everybody. I gotta tell you, despite it being frigid outside, I slept like a rock. I stayed super warm. This sleep system I put together here did an absolutely phenomenal job. Wound up going to sleep around 9 o'clock, and it's now 7. Yeah, I never sleep. First of all, I never sleep in this late when I'm home, but I typically don't sleep that soundly, and it's it's 34 degrees Fahrenheit out there, which is 1 degree Celsius, 99% humidity. Inside the tent right now, it's 51 degrees. Now, I did have the little buddy heater down here going for a few hours really early. I woke up at like 3:30 because I had to pee really bad from all the water I drank yesterday. and I turned that on and it stayed on for a couple hours, but it's been off for a while and it's still 51 degrees in here. I can see my breath. And as I'm getting out of the bag, I can feel the chill on my long johns. But other than that, solid night. Really good. It continued to rain on and off until I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock. It should be cleared up. I haven't looked out there yet. I am noticing, and this is the inherent problem with just about every tent. When you use this big buddy heater or little buddy heater for any period of time, especially when it's really humid outside, you are going to get condensation in your tent, and I do have quite a bit on the walls. The side walls are fine. Actually, all the walls are pretty decent. The Napier Backroads does a really good job. This overhang part back here that goes over the bed and then comes back over with the tub. The condensation that's here kind of gets trapped right there, so that's kind of a cool feature. The condensation on this back wall here, there's quite a bit there. That is 90% from me breathing, no doubt, just because that's the only wall that it's really, got a lot of condensation on. That's going to be from the water coming out of my mouth overnight. But overall, it was a great night. So I think I'm going to get up and make a simple breakfast. I'll probably just make some oatmeal or something like that. I'll bring you along for that. I'm going to check out the scenery and get some wood, maybe make a fire. And yeah, that's about it. I don't think I have anything else to add. This Navajo blanket, I tell you what, man. God, if I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. Jessica, a former roommate of mine many years ago, gave this to me as a thank you gift for being the world's best roommate. And this is like unequivocally one of the coolest gifts I've ever received. Like I would not sell this for any, well, I shouldn't say that, not any price, but to me it's priceless. 100% wool, authentic Navajo blanket from the reservation, and this thing just keeps me great. The 20-degree bag did awesome. It did get down into the high 20s last night. Didn't get quite as cold as I was anticipating. I imagine that's probably because of the cloud layer. It's supposed to get colder tonight, but we're ready for it. Let's get out of this sweat lodge and make some food. So we're going to use the biomass stove here to make breakfast, and I'm not exactly optimistic about it because the sticks that I picked up are obviously wet from last night's rain. On top of that, I left my lighter out, and my lighter isn't working, but that my Bic lighter, that's not a problem. My fire kit, I've got just about every other way you can make fire. And I'm glad it kind of happened because it can showcase something that I've been meaning to show you guys, and that is the old school rope lighter. This thing dates back long before Bic lighters were invented. These go back hundreds of years, I'm pretty sure. And it's a very simple process. You got a little knob right here to adjust a piece of striker on there. And there's a lead ball right here that pulls up and hooks into just a piece of cotton rope. And what happens, that striker will light the rope and create a red ember on there. And you use that ember to light your fuel. That is the rope lighter. You can get these on eBay. And then when you're done with the ember, you just simply pull that in and it snuffs out the ember. Comes in really handy. I've started a lot of fires with this thing and it works perfectly every single time. Not the best solution when you're in rain, like if you are in a heavy downpour and you're getting wet. You're probably not making a fire anyway, but this would be difficult. In that case, I would use a waterproof, life-proof match, or even the, I'm not sure what the lighter is called. I have a, what the hell is that lighter called? I'll have to show you sometime. It basically uses like arcs of electricity that go back and forth, and it's windproof, waterproof, everything. It's pretty cool. Let's show you how this works here. I'm going to basically set this up. Goes in there like that. There we go. It is messy. That's the only thing. To light, we're going to be lighting a little bit of husk here. And I'm going to put a hexamine tablet in there to get that going, and then drop some sticks on top. Pull out just enough of the rope to get it caught. And it's caught. Yeah, it looks to have caught in there. Yeah, you know, it's actually caught in there. We're in business. As is the key with all these stoves, you have got to keep feeding them fire. God, this wood's so wet I can't even snap these little twigs. Yeah. Now it's extra smoky right now because of That wood's so wet, but it's burning, and that water is just about ready to boil. Take that pot off or else it'll scorch the bottom, or you run the risk of that anyway. And then when I'm done eating, I'll use the hot water in there to wash the bowl out. Worked good. I'm pleasantly surprised, and it's keeping my hands and feet warm. Easy peasy, quick and easy. I know it might seem simple, but it's these little things that make life a lot easier when you're out camping or backpacking, especially, that I like to talk about in my videos. You know, it's more of a gadget than anything. But today I want to give you a brief rundown on this new utensil set that I got by a company called Outy, I believe is how you spell that. It's O-U-T-X-E. And they are a long handle spoon and spork combo that comes with this nice polyester carrying bag here. I would probably not take this with me, but if you're truck camping or not too concerned about weight, you could stick that in there. A couple things I like about these right off the bat is they are the long handles for the infamous Mountain House used to do it. They've wisened up and now they're making their bags shorter, but most every other freeze-dried meal out there are the tall sacks, and these are so much more convenient when stirring and eating out of those bags, those freeze-dried food backpacking meal bags. It came with both of these. You could probably get by with just one. I think I know I paid $16 for the set. And that's pretty good considering they're made out of titanium, and they have a couple other features such as the polished titanium on the tips and the brushed matte finish on the handles. Super lightweight. Just to go over the specs real quick, they have the polished bowls. The head of the titanium fork and spoon have been polished to make it easier for cleaning. It also gives a smoother feel in the mouth. It's not a gritty feeling, but the main thing is that it's easier for cleaning. They come in at a weight of 0.63 ounces each. Okay, so for a combined weight of a little over 1 ounce. Extended, they're 8.7 inches each. So yeah, I like it, and for the price, I mean, you can't beat it. Super lightweight. You can hardly feel that they're in your hand. And this is the spoon and spork combo by Outy. I imagine if I'm pronouncing that wrong, somebody will let me know. going to be enough. Good old beef top ramen. No, that's plenty of water. So then we'll take the beef jerky, and this is an old school backpacking trip right here. You take this beef jerky and you just throw it in there just like that. It'll rehydrate it, season those noodles. We'll put the beef packet in there, the bouillon as well. But I've never done this, and supposedly when it comes out it tastes like marinated steak strips. And we won't use all of it because I got to test it out for good measure. All right. We're going to throw an egg in there too. That is hot already. My grandmother used to, when we were kids, make ramen every now and then. And you know how when grandma makes anything, it always tastes better. And I finally asked her many years ago, I said, Oma, what was it you would put in your ramen when we were kids that made it absolutely irresistible? So, that's Oma's secret to good ramen. It was just putting an egg in it. Yeah. So I'm going to take this off. Let that stew in there. Put half of this flavor packet in there. I'll put the other half in the vegetables there. Oh man, that looks good just like that. Look at this, guys. And we'll drain some of that juice out. But right now I want to put our veggie medley on. And we're going to start by putting some ghee in this. If you've never heard of ghee, it's some of the greatest butter on earth with the added benefit of being lactose free. It's very expensive, but I tell you what, it's really, really good. And this glass container is amazing. Like, you can put regular butter in it afterwards if you want. So we'll take a heaping thing of ghee here. In hindsight, I would have put the butter in first and then the vegetables, but you know, this is the Dirt Road Reset channel where we do everything a little bit less conventional. This is coming along really nice here. Those mushrooms are softening up. Basically, when you're cooking onions and you're sauteing onions, the key is to, well, two things. One, you want them really hot, but you don't want to overcook them. So right when they become translucent is the point when you want to take them off. Same with garlic. If you like a lot of garlic, like we put garlic in here, typically what you do is the garlic should be the very last thing that you put in a skillet, because garlic turns when it burns. That's what an old a chef mentor told me one time. When the garlic burns, it turns, and you don't want that. Yeah, that's coming along really good. It starts to reduce. I've had people ask me about the stove setup. This is a solo stove. This is the bonfire model. They actually make a model that's even bigger than this. I think if I would do it over again, I would actually get the model that's smaller than this. This stove is only practical for obviously truck camping or car camping or RV camping. You definitely don't bring it backpacking or anywhere you even have to hike in, because it's very heavy and it's expensive. I think they're around 300 bucks. They have their advantages and disadvantages. They use the double wall incineration furnace sort of design, which means it burns very hot and very fast. The biggest advantage, though, to this, and the reason I got it, honestly, is because of the double wall design with the blowholes that come out the top. It's virtually smokeless. No matter what type of wood you put on this, it's very little smoke. Yeah, see how we're getting that caramelization going on there? And in just a minute here, I'll drain off the, well, I can do it now actually. I'm going to drain off the juice or the water from these noodles. So what I'm thinking we do now is I'm going to drop this right into the mix. Give it one more good flip. Make sure, yep, looks good to me. There we go. The only thing that would make this better is if I had a wok. If I had a wok and we were in the forest, I would have a channel and I would name it A Walk in the Woods. That'll get me like 25 thumbs down on this video alone right there. Well, what do you think, guys? I totally made this up. Oh, you know what? We got to put the seasoning on it. But leave in the comments below what you think of this concoction. Now, because I made it, it's going to taste better to me. So, if you were sitting across from me on the campsite right now, and I were to make this, would you eat it? And do you think it would taste good? We're going to find out. Guys, that turned out absolutely amazing. And I found some Frank's Red Hot in my bag and put that on here, and that is dynamite. With that egg, the beef jerky didn't hydrate as much as I thought it would. I think you got to boil it for longer, but it's palatable. It's soft. It's just tender chunks of steak in there. This was a great meal. I would totally make this again. I wish you were here. Cheers, everyone. sure to pick up your trash whenever you're doing anything outdoors. Leave no trace. I gotta say, you know, with COVID and everything like that, my camping adventures have somewhat changed as a result of that, for reasons I wasn't expecting, and places that over the years normally I went to that were just me. I wouldn't see a single person for days. It seems like this virus brought a lot of people outdoors and into the woods and camping more than ever, which is, in my opinion, a great thing. I mean, we should be stewards of the great outdoors and advocating people to do it. However, with that came some disadvantages. Well, it wasn't as secluded. I had to try a little bit harder to find some places that were near and dear to my heart that I didn't share with anybody had been found. Perhaps the most disappointing thing out of it was just the sheer amount of trash that people leave. Folks, if you are going outdoors, do the right thing and pick up after yourselves. I know most of you guys watching this channel, this isn't directed at you, but if you could help spread the word, that sure would be great. The biggest thing was, I mean, I'd go to some of these sites that, I mean, you'd have to even use four-wheel drive to get to, and there would be toilet paper for miles. I mean, in every direction that you could see, it was just toilet paper everywhere. It was just gross. So I'd spend half a day picking up other people's trash, you know, that way I could enjoy myself. Do the right thing, pick up after yourself. Leave no trace. If you have to poop in the woods, you know, bury your waste. They say, I think it's 8 inches in the ground, or bring, you know, there's a variety of different portable toilets and systems that you can use. I don't use any of those. You know, dig a hole and bury it, but don't leave it for someone else to come upon. That's gross. Especially if you have dogs. You know, I don't have a dog, but I've heard stories where people bring their dogs out and they have to keep their dog with them at all times because of the toilet paper and the gross stuff that is with that. Their dog goes out and comes back with a wad of toilet paper in his mouth. I sure do appreciate all the feedback you guys have been giving me. It's been very uplifting and reassuring that there's people actually watching. So that's cool. Yeah, so I mean, anything. If you have any questions, or even if it's just a thumbs up, hit that thumbs up notification. Leave a comment down below. Let me know where you're at, where you're watching from, some stories if you got them. Any tips or suggestions, things that you think I could be doing better. I'm totally game for all that stuff. More importantly, I sure would appreciate your support by hitting that like button on the video down below, or even better, the subscribe button with the bell notification. That way you can get alerted whenever I release a new video. That goes a long way. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can visit my Patreon page. And for as little as $5 a month, you'll get some cool things from me and get access to behind the scenes stuff and invites to camping trips, whatnot. It just, you know, it goes a long way. It's your way of saying thank you to me. If you can't do any of that, just leave a comment down below. I sure would appreciate it. These videos are primarily targeted to, you know, people that love the outdoors or might be thinking about doing more outdoors, with an emphasis on reaching out to those that might have some sort of mental thing going on, whether it be stress, anxiety, postpartum, schizophrenia, anything that's racking the mind. It's my opinion that this is the most therapeutic and organic way to clear your mind and to get clarity and to, you know, level yourself out without the use of prescription medications. You know, try it, but definitely, you know, get professional help as well that you need. But if you or someone you know is suffering from any of those aforementioned things, even if you're just tired, sick and tired of being tired, get outdoors, go camping. This is dedicated to you guys. It works for me, and I'm pretty sure it'll work for you. You know, depression is a bitch. It really is. This right here is the reset that works for me, and I've heard it works for a lot of other people. On that note, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope we do many more of these adventures together. It's been a lot of fun. Let's put some jelly on this.